Get started tonight, and it is a pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with each and every one of you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for being here on the call with us. Very, very important that we are here tonight on this call. So let's get it started. First of all, I want to go back here just for a brief second. And we're going to acknowledge just a few things on the call this evening. First of all and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about something that's been life-changing for people that are here on this call. But before we talk about that, we always have to give a disclaimer. What you're going to hear tonight is not financial advice. It's not enticement of any type. It's not a guarantee of results. Results in the BG investment project are based on your own efforts and determination and focus. And following the instructions and guidance of Professor Stephen Beard for the trading signals, BG is a Web3 trading project on the DSJ exchange that requires crypto to participate. Today's presentation is not investment advice, an offer, or solicitation for the purpose or sale of investments. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the cryptocurrency market is highly volatile and involves a high amount of risk in which you may lose some or all of your invested funds. You should not invest with funds that you cannot afford to lose. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about a win-win-win process. Now, for those of you that are brand new, we're just going to explain this part, and then we're going to go into our life-changing stories. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, all we do every single day, over 500,000 people around the world are going to be taking an exact same trade that we're going to be taking tonight, close to around 7:30, where we're going to go to one site, we're going to copy a code, we're going to go to another site, we're going to paste the code into that site, that's into our DSJ account, and then we're going to hit the word confirm. Once we place the order code right in there, we hit confirm, and then we click on position order to make sure it says pending. Now, how many new people do we have here on the line tonight that you feel like you can copy a code from one site and paste it into another? Let me know. Let me see some hearts on the screen if you can copy a code and paste it. That's the qualification, ladies and gentlemen, for people to be, and I tell everybody to do this business, that's the qualification. It is absolutely amazing. Everybody, look at the amount of hearts on there, because it doesn't take rocket scientists to do this. So with that being said, tonight we're going to talk about life-changing stories, and I'm going to introduce Pat as well as Tara. We've got a bunch of co-hosts on here tonight, and we're going to go ahead and delve into it and get started this evening. So Pat, Tara, welcome.
Thank you so much, Randy. I am excited to be here.
Yes, we all are. I love it. Tara, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Dave, Jamani, my sissy Pat from Kansas City. You guys, it takes a village. Could not do it without you guys, without everybody that's on this call. It takes a team to do this.
Absolutely. So let's get started right now. And this is all about life-changing stories. So Pat or Tara, who do you think we should start with first?
I'll get started if it's okay. And then after me, we'll do Tara. Then Jamani's on, and then Jamani can come up. And then, well, I guess we'll go me, Jamani, Tara, then you. How about that?
That'll be great. That'll be absolutely great. So Pat, tell everybody a little bit about what this has done for you. How has this changed things for you? Because tonight, guys, we want to be very transparent with people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, my story is probably not like a lot of you guys that's on the phone and girls that's on the phone. It may be a little bit different because I don't know, you know, if any of you really know or know what it feels like to not like have your back up against the wall, but have your back in the wall. And my back 7 months ago was so far in the wall, I literally didn't know what to do. I was at the point of just like caving in, throwing in the towel, and just say, you know what? I just can't take no more. And so I got a call from my sister, Tara, and she and I and Jamani, we have been doing a lot of things together. But here recently, we really started trying to learn how to become successful day traders in the stock market. And, I have to be very transparent with you all on this phone today, like I always do. I'm just keeping it 100. The future stock market, and we was trading in the future stock market. And I don't know how much you guys know about trading in the future stock market, right? But I'm gonna tell you one thing. That is one market, right? That if you ever get on the right side of the market, you can really make some great profits, excellent profits, right? And we have been going back and forth doing this for the past 2 years. And this market was kicking our behind, okay? Tear me up a new one, right? And so I was literally at the point in my life to say, you know what, Lord, I can't take no more. I mean, I had so much debt upon me that I could not see the forest for the trees. I'm telling you all, this is the honest to God's truth. It seemed like the bills was not just coming. They were just like compounded. They were like, that compounded interest. I had compounding bills, right? They would not stop. It seems like I got to the point I just hated to go to the mailbox because I could not send another bill. Why? Because I didn't have the money to pay for it. And so my sister Tara, I love her to death, and I wholeheartedly mean this, right? So prior to 6 months ago, my sister knew what my struggle was. And because of that, whenever she could, because she has a family and she's got responsibilities and she got bills, right? But every time she got the opportunity, she would throw me something. Here, sister, I'm gonna put this in your account. Here, sister, I'm gonna help you. And then I got to the point, and she don't know this, but I started to feel so bad because now I feel like, Lord, I can't keep, allowing her to help me because she gonna mess around and gonna be in the same predicament I'm in, trying to help me. But even with that, her heart is so big that I'm telling you guys, every other month, it seems like she was trying to throw me a couple of hundred here, 500 there, $1,000 there, and I was so grateful. But in June of last year, she told me, she said, Sissy, she says, we're going to start this trading community, you, myself, and our brother Jamani. And the only difference is they have an AI trading bot. And so when she said that, my soul just leaped for joy. It really did. It just leaped for joy because I was like, Lord, finally, right? I don't have to be the expert. I can move out the way and maybe I can get on the right side of this market because I'm telling y'all, the market was kicking my ass. I'm just keeping it real, right? And so, and even then, when we decided to come in, we laugh about it now, but it took myself and her and Jamani, took all three of us, really me and Jamani, let's put it, I'm going to keep it on the real. Really me and Jamani, it took us literally 30 days, right? Because we said we wanted to open up our DSJ trade account. We wanted to open up with $3,000. So I'm trying to piecemeal the money together. My brother Jamani's trying to piecemeal his money together. My sister Tara, she was straight. So at the same time, here she had to come back to the rescue one more time, right? So she had to give us a little bit of money so that we could get to the $3,000 each. And so right at the time we decided to pull the trigger, right? And we all got the $3,000. Our brother Jamani called and introduced us to a young lady he know. And at this time, we're all at the point of being like desperado, for real. We are desperate. So the lady shared with us another trading community. And over here in this other trading community, they offer up to 25% return in the daily profits. Well, you all know in DSJ, we're going to get the 1.25%. Well, we're so desperate at this point in time. Well, of course, 25% sound a whole lot better than 1.25%. So while we're still trying to piecemeal all this together and get it all together, right? Over there, we've heard and we've seen that those traders over there had wiped out literally everybody's account over there. The whales came and just ate all the accounts up, right? And we see this. We know what happened, right? We're so desperate, guys. Listen, we come up with another strategy. Oh, it's gonna be okay. You know what? We still gonna take a chance with him because hey, we can make 25% and this and that. And like, I don't know. We just wasn't thinking clearly. So what did we do? We took out of the $3,000 that the three of us had a piece, we took $2,500 and we put it over there. Now I just told y'all, we just seen everybody that was over in that community literally get their accounts wiped out. Y'all know for a fact that should have been the first red flag to tell us danger, danger, warning, warning, right? We gonna go straight into the lion's den anyway. Desperate. We went right on into the lion's den, right? And guess what? Y'all know the story. We never ever got a dime, not one red penny from that trade academy over there. Nothing.
10 grand.
We laugh about it now, but I'm telling y'all, 6 months ago, shit, I was about ready to jump off a bridge about that 2,500, right? Because I'm really sick. But praise be to God, we all opened up our trade account with DSJ, like we said, and we put our $500 in there each, right? $500 each. And at this point in time, we knew we could not, listen, this had to work. Period. End of story. This was our last straw, right? DSJ and BG had to be the one because at this point in time, especially Domini and I, we surely didn't have nothing else, right? And so we came in, guys, we hit the ground running. And I'm telling you, next month in March, and I'll get teary-eyed and I don't want to do that. I don't. But next month, I will be able to pay off all of my debt except for my home, and my home will be paid off in June of this year. And I cannot say enough about BG, Professor Stephen Beard, my sister Tara for thinking about me, Randy for thinking about her, my brother Domini, who helped to keep me and Tara's head on the right track, because, you know, we're very emotional, and he's the calm one. And so, but I just want y'all to know that this is a life-changing opportunity. And if y'all don't hear anything else that I say, you all please take this serious, please, because if you were anywhere near where I was 6 months ago and to see where I am today, it just brings tears to your eyes. So I just want to say thank you so much, Tar. Thank you, Domini. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Dave. And thanks be to God, to my whole entire BG team. I couldn't have done it without you guys. I love you all so much for believing enough in yourself, first of all, and then believing enough in me to let me try to lead the way. So I want to say thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to my brother, Domini. He ain't going to get emotional like myself, because I tell y'all, I get really emotional about how God has blessed me with this opportunity and where I see myself heading. And by the end of this year, we're not even going to talk about where I would be at as far as wealth, not debt, but wealth. And it's all because of BG and my Lord and Savior. So, Domini, I'm giving it to you. Thank you, guys.
Wow, Pat, that was touching. I mean, you had Tara crying. Absolutely
I know,
amazing.
she did.
I'm over here getting all choked up. But guys, listen, you're hearing real people just like you with real stories, how this has literally just changed their life. So, Domini, my man, tell us what's going on down in good old country. You're still muted, Domini.
I'm mute.
Yeah.
I'm good now?
You good now, my friend?
I was just playing to see if y'all was on point. All right, okay. Well, just like Pat said, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have anything, no choice but for this to work, because we got into a platform and they were paying 25%. The numbers look really good on the screen, and people were in there making stupid amounts of money. They were in there making a week. There was some people in there some people in there that was making about $1.5 million a day. It's people in BG that do that, but they didn't do it in no two weeks. So we were just like, something gotta work. So we dumped all our money over there. Boom, it imploded. So it was like, we have to do something. What is it? And I said, I know it ain't gonna be no BG. Why we gotta do 20? Why would we do 1 to 2% a day when we can get 25%, even though it's not working? We can still get it. They gonna win sooner or later. They got to. Yeah, right. So we joined over here in July. It was July 2nd. And I don't have to go into a long, drawn-out story. Y'all know it. That's when things change. I saw myself getting out of debt. I would be able to pay everything off. And I'm talking about, I owe a lot. When I say a lot, it's several. It ain't in the billions, but it's in the hundreds of thousands. It'll be zeroed out this year along with the house. How? Because of this program, if you work it. First thing that we did was, Tara told me, she said, hey, Money, you know how she talk. Hey, Money, I'll be able to, me and Mike and I'll be able to, I'm trying to sound as close as I can as Tara. And y'all see this, I'm repping BG. Y'all see that right there. I got the BG merch on right there. That's what that is. All right. So anyway, so she was like, in 9 months, we would make more money doing this than the traditional business. Y'all know her traditional business, she makes good money, over $1 million a year. So I was like, are you crazy? How to wear $500? That don't even make sense. So she said, go study, look at the comp plan, break the comp plan down. When I broke the comp plan down, I looked at it. I was like, oh, snap. This thing real. So you mean to tell me what the first goal was was to get the first 5, right? Because we didn't have no more money. We were tapped out. So, yeah, I'm getting a little emotional, but I ain't gonna, y'all crazy if y'all think I'm gonna break down in front of y'all. Y'all done lost y'all minds. That ain't happening, Captain. So anyway, so we went in, we looked at it, said the first goal was to get the first 5. Then after that, it was the third signal, all right? We said the third signal is what changes the game. How did we do that? Because, come on, don't be crazy. We start looking at the level 7s around here, start getting with them, interviewing them and all of that stuff. This is what you do. You get with success. Success leaves tracks. All you got to do is follow the tracks. That's it, right? So we said if you at 1.89, you could change a $63,000 account into $1 million just being on level 2. I said, oh, snap. So then me, you know, they always accuse me of this. You know, when the cup, it falls over, you know, all of the coffee and all of that stuff, or tea. I drink tea. Coffee make me throw up, y'all. So don't send me no coffee. Give me tea. All right. So now, when it spill over, I want to get everything in it. What does that mean? Give me level 2, 3, 4, level 7. So all of us said, me, Pat, and Tara said, we should hit level 7 within 9 months after starting. Why? Because it takes, a birthing process takes 9 months. And all of us are on schedule to do that. Now, that 8 through 12, they added it later. That ain't happening in no 9 months, realistically. I don't see that happening in 9 months. So we broke the comp plan down, said 7 months, this will happen. And it's a way, and that's how you could cheat your way all the way to the top. Remember in school, inside of the indoctrination camps that they put us in the Babylonian system, you get in trouble for copying, right? They give you a bad grade. And here, not only do you get rich, you get wealthy. How? Because we know millionaires in here, more than 10. and a couple of billionaires. I don't care what y'all think on the line. Y'all can think we crazy or what. It don't even matter. We're going to copy paste profit and get to the billionaire bag. That is my handle, billionaire bag. So look, don't be crazy. Don't listen to none of them outside voices. Talk to somebody that's in here. That's how you're going to find out the real business. Or for some of y'all that don't understand when I talk proper, that's how y'all going to understand the real business right there. All right? Talk to somebody that's inside the camp. That's all you do. But that's my story. My account is not as high as Tara's and Pat, because I'm a what you call it, like a crackish withdrawal. I'm a habitual withdrawal. So I gotta stop that. I was so far behind, I had no choice. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no spouse or none of that stuff. You know, so I had to do what I had to do. So my right now I'm making right at about 1680 a day. My account is right at 90,000. And it's so low, like I said, because of withdrawals. Those of y'all on the other end may think it's high, but it's not really high compared to theirs. So I'm getting ready to stop doing that, rank up, start, boom, keep compounding. That's how it's gonna work. You just keep throwing your money in there, and it's gonna work. The compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, y'all. That's all I got. Dave, you got the mic next.
Wow, that was amazing, Giovanni. Guys, can we give Giovanni a bunch of hearts for that? Because that is absolutely incredible. I mean, we talk about life-changing stories. That's exactly what we're experiencing. And now while Dave's talking, guys, they're just releasing the code right now. So while Dave's talking, we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you an example of the copy and paste. And so let me see if I can pull that up on our screen, and you guys let me know when you see it. The new screen, we'll try to share that. So we'll do a copy and paste here if it allows me to do it, and we'll go with our screen broadcast. So for you new folks that are here, you wondering, the excitement here is just off the charts. Why is everybody so excited? Because they get to do something very simple every day, and we're going to share with you exactly what we do and why it's so powerful. So the screen should be up. We'll go to a site called Bond Chat, as you see here, and then there's a code right here at the bottom. So we just copy the code, and I'm going to click on it again, make sure I get a good copy off of it. And then we go over to our DSJ site. Now, I want to remind you, there's over 500,000 people trying to get in this site at the same time. So all we do is we click on futures, we click on invited me, and you'll notice it says, please enter the order code right there. So I'm going to click inside the box. I'm going to go ahead and paste the code that I just copied. Now, sometimes you'll see network error and it'll flash, but it's still okay to give us 20 minutes. You see how I had the check mark that says follow the order, and then we click on position order. And once you do that, it comes up pending. That's all we do. So if you're brand new, you saw how long that took. So let me ask you a question. With what you just saw that we did right there, how many people here on the line could copy a code from the one site, Bond Chat, then go over into the DSJ and paste that code? Let me see hearts on the screen if you can copy and paste just like that. I want to double check with all our new people on the line. See, it's simple. And you know what? Everybody that got on a call like this for the first time felt exactly like you. They decided that they wanted to make a decision. They decided to get in. They decided to change their life. And now they're experiencing the daily wins, ladies and gentlemen, and the life-changing stories that you're hearing on the call tonight. So without any further ado, Dave, go ahead. Take the call away, my friend.
Okay, everyone. I'm still trying to get my trade in, but, you know, I wish I would have known a Tara, because I was in the same situation, just like Pat, you know, but I didn't have a safety net, guys. So what happened with me was I started July 4th. Domini called me. I wasn't trying to hear it. I had just brought my team over to 2 rug pulls, and I wasn't trying to do a third one. So I said, Domini, I'm not interested, man, and I don't want to hear it, because I mentally I wasn't in the right space to receive anything. And so then after I got off the phone, you guys have heard this, most of you have heard this testimony before, but after I got off the phone, I had to think about it. because I had to ask myself, well, what if this is what I was praying for? What if everything he said was right? Because he said, hey, you don't have to worry about sending your money into BG. They don't get our money. The money goes into an exchange, just like Coinbase or Charles Schwab, Dean Witter. And so I thought about it, but I still wasn't receiving it. And so after I got off the phone and I listened to a presentation, and the professor, the college professor, not Stephen Beard, but a college professor did the presentation. She said, hey, we double our money in 60 days. We have an AI trading bot, 99.6% win rate. We double our money and it's guaranteed. The professor guarantees the trade. And they have been trading successfully since 2022. So I thought, well, if I can put my money in that I didn't have, if I could find the money to come in, and it would only be at risk for 60 days, I could pull it out, start playing with the house's money. So I still couldn't start because I still didn't have the money. And guys, think about this, because I had always been a six-figure earner for most of my career. But at this point, I was flat broke. It was to the point where I wasn't sure if I was going to lose my car, or I wasn't sure if I was going to lose my house, or my house and my car. My family did not know this. I carried all of that on my shoulders. Luckily, Jamani's mother, who knew me from previous opportunities, she said, I'm going to sponsor Dave because I already know what he's going to do. So Mama Brisby, that's why you guys always hear me thanking Mama Brisby. She got me in, and the rest is, as they say, history. Here we are, 7 months later. You know, I get calls, texts, emails from my team every week saying, Dave, thank you, because they were in the same boat. Now they can pay their bills. Now they're making more money than they can on their job. And so it's all about believing, getting in, getting active. And just like level 7 Ann said, when you get in this, you take it seriously because your financial future depends on it. Your legacy depends on it. This is real. They are compliant. See, I have been in this space since 2013. Online crypto opportunities, probably over 100. I didn't count, but it seems like it if it wasn't. And I have been through so much, guys. I call it paying tuition. I've paid so much tuition, hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition. Now I look at it as a stepping stone, getting me from there to here. Everything is golden right now. So you guys take this seriously. If you decide to get in, you take this seriously. Your life will change. Back to you.
All right, Dave. And that was very, very compelling. I see by the hand claps and the hearts coming up. You know, people are resonating with other people. And that's what this is all about. Nobody on this line is a superhuman person. No, we're people just like everybody that's on this line. We had challenges. We had our moments where we were wondering if this was true at all or not. We were skeptical. I know I was very skeptical. In fact, I actually thought it was a scam at first. But ladies and gentlemen, only after doing the proper due diligence, it started to resonate with me. And you know, it's so interesting. I called Tara, who's on the line with us right now, and Tara didn't say yes right away. And months went by, and then finally, I'll let her tell you her story and what BG has done for her. And I just think it's absolutely amazing. So Tara, welcome to the line.
Oh, thank you. Look, I had to like drink some water and just calm down. Pat got me real emotional because guys, I can feel her pain because I know that is true. That's really true what she was telling you guys she was going through. Like many of you on this call tonight, you probably are right now going through what Pat was going through. And so Randy called me in March of 2025. I was day trading. I had my students, and look, guys, Jumani was one of my students still in the trading. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I started with this company and they were doing you can buy your prop firms and accounts. And you know, I always loved the 50Ks at first, and I changed from the 50Ks to the 150s. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I got started in that, and it was like May, June, July, August, and like 4 or 5 months, I understood how to beat them at that game. I literally started making like 25,000 to 35,000 every 8 days. I was so excited. They were sending me the money, putting it in my account, and guess what they did? After they realized that I knew what I was doing, they changed all the rules. And I remember Money telling me, Money said, it ain't gonna be the same, sis. It ain't gonna be the same. They know you got them. They know you know. Do you know, right after Money told me that, we were in Jackson and we had a trading class. Money had just told me that. He said, I'm telling you, sis, you kill them. They ain't gonna let you do that. I'm telling you. Y'all know it was the next week they sent me a message saying, oh, we need to see that you can trade. What? We got to make sure that you're doing the trading. So I had to make a video, show my hands, show me at the keyboard, explain the trade. And I'm like, the hell? I mean, I had to make these videos. And then not only did they do that, so I did it, right? So they released my money. But guess what they did next? They changed all the rules. The way they were allowing us to trade, they changed everything. So you know what happened, right? They did that so you could fail those challenges. So I'm like, what the? You know, I'm gonna be honest, I could have a foul mouth, but I'm just being honest. I'm like telling Jumani I'm going off. But you know, but I was like, I'm not gonna quit. But then we keep doing it. You know, Jumani's learning how to trade, Tracy's learning how to trade, just all the students trying to learn how to trade. Then, you know, when they just kept making the rules like even more stringent, I was like, shit, I don't know. We're gonna be running through a lot of cash, you know, doing this. Okay, so somebody tells your money about what Pat is talking about, that we can get into this trading thing, we can make 25%. We can make 25%, right? So on our in a day. Now, y'all, that was kind of silly for us to really do that, to be honest. But we were so excited. We took $10,000. We pulled together $10,000, right? We sent it to them. Next thing I know, they're hollering about the whales. The whales. Do y'all know what that means? They have taken these people and they claim that they lost millions of dollars. Our money's over there. So we try to get the money back. The man said, no, we're not giving it back. They would not give our $10,000 back. Losing that $10,000 was like losing $1 million. Me, Pat, and Jumani sitting here like, what is going on? So we couldn't get the money back. So, because what we were gonna do, that was our BG money, because we planned on putting $2,500 in a piece because we had some more people that was in with us. So that's why we had 10,000. So we were gonna each put $2,500 into BG. Our BG money is gone at this point. So now we're like, back to the drawing board. So then we said, okay, we gotta get started. So on July the 2nd, you know, I put my 525 in, Pat got her 525, Jumani got his money. And we just decided, we went over this comp plan every day before we even started. Jumani, Pat, and I would get on Zoom together. We get on the phone together, guys. We were so excited, but we would run those numbers. We knew these numbers. I was dreaming about the freaking numbers. My husband's like, man, you was talking in your sleep. You was talking about the numbers. I was like, oh, that was big. Talking about BG. And we weren't even in it yet, but we understood. We understood those numbers. And that's what you got to do, guys. You have to understand your numbers, because now when you understand your numbers, you're gonna have a roadmap. So we realized that we needed to do what? We needed to help our children. When you bring people in, guys, they are your children. You got to help your children get 5. You got 5, 5, 5, 5. Each one of them need to go and bring 5 people in with them, right? So John is my child, 5. Jackie, 5. Susan, 5. Michael, 5. Right? Sean, 5. So now 25, and then I got 5. So you want to, that's what your goal is. I don't care if it takes you 2 months, 30 days, 6 days. That is your short-term goal. You have to do it, because guess what it's going to do, guys? It's going to change your money from 1.25 to 1.85, and you won't look back. So you guys know that doing that will make you a multi-millionaire? And I'm not making any income claims, guys. I'm just telling you the facts with the calculator. But I'm not telling you you can do that if you're not willing to go work. You need to go to work. If you are willing to go out and share, okay? I mean, share it. Talk to anybody. Don't prejudge. I don't care. Talk to any and everybody, but make you a goal to get 5 people and help them get their 5. Guess what? 1.85% daily. You are a multi-millionaire. And guess what, guys? You're only a level 2. But guess what? You are a multi-millionaire. And then guess what? Then you show somebody else on your team how to do it. Then they show somebody else how to do it. And guess what? Before long, you're going to have 3,800 people on your team or more, just like me and Randy have today, just like Domini have all these people on his team. Pat has all these people on her team. And Dave has all these people on his team, because we went out and we're not afraid to. Most of you guys act like you're scared. They can only say no. They won't hurt you. But guess what? You keep going, because somebody's going to say yes. And guess what? $525 now, guys. Now, Jamani gonna kill me if I don't tell y'all what's in my account. I know him like a book. T, why you ain't tell him? I'm not making any income claims. I'm not saying this will happen for you, because you may not want to go to work. But if you want to go to work and you're not too ashamed to go out and be proud of what you're doing, you can have $345,010.62 in your account too. And you could be making over $6,100 a day, not a week, not a month, a day. And I did that because I'm not freaking scared. And you don't need to be scared. And stop caring about what these people say online. I went over there and I read on Google and I went up. You saw what Arthur put up the other night. It even told you. Google said it, that everything that's on Google is not correct. Did y'all see that? But I bet most of y'all was on here talking, not paying attention to the presentation, because he showed you, it said it. ChatGPT said the same thing. Everything on their site is not freaking correct. But why do y'all let these people bully y'all? Oh, my friend said they're not going to join because they went to chat. Well, they're not too bright either. And don't be scared to tell them that they're not. You cannot Google a freaking website, a government site. You have to go there personally. Give them the due diligence. Stop playing games, man. If you want to change your life, guys, you have the vehicle to do it. But it's up to you. Nobody can do it for you, but we are willing to help you. And stop listening to all these people talking about, I got these big people. I got some big fish. You don't need big fish to win over here. You just need some little fish. They all add up. Just go to work. Help people become, look, what are we talking about tonight, y'all? 5 to get 5, 5 to get 5, 5 to get 5, and then start talking about your long-term goals. But make it a goal that you are going to get your 3rd bonus trade signal. And that is it. No negotiations. That's it. Thank you. I love y'all. We can do it. Don't let nobody stop you. And stop running around here chasing these people. You don't need them. You do not need them. You look for the people who want you. Don't go run behind people. You don't need to chase them. Do not chase them. You don't have to. Back to you, Randy.
Wow. Well, we hear the fire in Tara's voice. Absolutely amazing. Guys, aren't these testimonies tonight absolutely incredible? If we can get a bunch of hearts on the screen, if you guys like what you hear, we're talking about life-changing testimonies, life-changing events. And, you know, they were just like you. They were just like me. And I want to tell my story just for a moment, because many of you heard part of it, but I've never really told everybody the full story. You see, when I first got introduced to this, we were living in our home at the time, and income was very, very tight. And this was in July of 2024. And I didn't want to do anything to hurt my family's finances at all. So I felt at that time I didn't have any money that I wanted to invest in anything, because, you know, I went online and I saw that some people were saying it was a scam. And this was even back in 2024. People were saying it was a scam. And so I kind of believed that. I didn't do the proper due diligence. And for 9 months, it held me back. I sat there for 9 months and would not join this company. In the meantime, my income had become so challenged, ladies and gentlemen, that we had to sell all of our furniture. We had to move out of our house. And we had to go and live with a family member. Now, I don't know about you, but that's tough for a man to do that, as well as have a family and a wife that depends on you. And it was very, very bad. And that whole time, our income, we were struggling. And started in March, you know, I had got so bad in March, I was out driving for DoorDash. And I'll never forget this. Ann called me up. She was the person who originally told me about the company back in July of 2024. This is March of 2025 now. And Ann said, "Randy, why aren't you listening?" And I should have been wanting to listen right away, but, you know, because of past experiences and reading the things on the internet, I said, "Ann, I just can't do it." She said, "Randy, you don't understand. You're not giving your money to BG. You can do this. It doesn't cost you anything at all to do this." And she said, "You're going to put your money into DSJ, and anytime you want to withdraw your funds, they're yours. You can withdraw it." And I said, "Ann, okay, I understand." And so at that time, they had a way that you could come in, and I said, "Well, Ann, you know, how much do I need to get started with?" Ann said, "I don't want you to start with any money." She said, "They have a demo account, and we're going to give you a demo account just so you can just copy and paste and see the AI winning the trades." And I said, "Okay, I'll try a demo account." And after about 2 to 3 days of demo account, in fact, Ann would call me up. She said, "Did you take your trade?" And I said, "Oh, Ann, I forgot to take the trade." You know, even at a free demo account, I still missed days of taking the trades, but I was able to see enough how every single day that I did take the trades, it was winning. And so I went home one day and I told my wife, I said, you know, after the demo was over, I said, "Well, they gave us a demo account and I took the trades, and the ones that I took, it seemed like it actually won, and it was looking good. You know, I saw the money going up in the account." And it was the time of our anniversary, right around March, the beginning of March. And because our funds were still so limited, I told my wife, I said, "Well, you know, honey, it's our anniversary time, so I've got about $100 in the account." And I said, "We can go out to a restaurant, or we can take that and put this into this trading platform." And my wife, I tell you, the best thing about it, when you have a good wife, you've got a good thing. She said, "Honey, if we go to the restaurant, all we're going to do is eat the food up. We're going to come back home, we're going to be in the same situation." She said, "Why not take the $100, because at that time you could join as little as $100, and we're going to put that into this BG platform." I didn't know what was going to happen, but I did know Ann kept telling me and showing me her account, and she was making money every single day. And so while I was still out driving, I said with my wife, I said, "It's getting difficult to do these trades, and I'm out driving." And I said, "Can you copy and paste the trades?" She said, "Sure, I will." And you know, our very first trade that we took, because we went in with like $130, and they gave us, actually, in the demo account, we won almost $50 in the demo account, and they actually converted the $50 into real cash for us. They said, well, look, you go open up a real account, we'll put $50 in your account. And I shared this with one other person who said, yeah, and I got an extra 25. So altogether, I ended up with about $200 in our account. Our first 2 trades that we took, we made $1.25 per trade. And at this point, I'm saying, well, I make a lot more than that driving, you know, for DoorDash in a day. It hadn't registered here yet. And so every day, my wife was taking the trades. I was out driving, delivering food for people I didn't want to do, but yet I'm spending from 11 in the morning to sometimes 9 and 10 at night. And I'll tell you guys, that is demoralizing for a lot of people, especially because of this industry. I had made $1 million in the MLM industry before. And so to be put down at that, it's just really, it takes a lot out of you. And the interesting thing is I went home one day and my wife said, we're not really making a lot of money. Yeah, it's going up a little bit each day. And I remember Ann said, show her the compound calculating chart. And when I showed that to her, I said, don't concentrate on these few dollars we're making right now. Look where we're going to be down the road. And when I showed her the chart and I showed her the figures, now, again, this was March. We didn't know what was going to happen in the future, right? But I showed that to her and that kept her going. And the account kept growing. And from March until July, we only had one person that had signed up. One person in 4 months had signed up. And at the end of, I believe it was the end of June, right at the beginning of July, I came home one day, my wife said, when are you going to take this serious? She said, I was in the bond chat room, and I think it was Telegram at the time. And she said, I asked these people, how are y'all making so much money? Because she saw everybody was excited and they were saying, oh, thank you, Professor. At first we thought it was a cult or something because everybody's like, oh my God, thank you, Professor. We're like, what's going on here? But the bottom line is those people had realized that if they build a team, they can make more money than they were just copying and pasting. And so they started to build a team and they told her, just get 5 people. And when I came home that day, my wife said, guess what? You got a new assignment. You're going to get 5 people. So I went in and I started talking to people seriously. And Tara was one of them. And then I got others that had finally come in. And then our life started to change. And every day our income kept coming in and kept getting higher and higher. And when we did the withdrawals, we were like, my goodness, we do a withdrawal and we get the funds. We do a withdrawal, we get the funds. And so I was living out of my account because like Tara, I was trading, but there are many times when I was trading on my own, I would get to a certain point where I make all this money. And then right before I get ready to withdraw out of the trading account, I say, I'm gonna go do one more trade. And that one trade, I end up blowing my whole entire account. And that's what happens to a lot of people who trade on their own. But when you're following an AI that wins over 99.6% of his trades, ladies and gentlemen, there's no stress, there's no thinking about it. There is no making mistakes like that. Because whenever you take a trade, the system is designed that it's not going to risk more than 1% of your account. So if you have $1,000 in your account, it's not going to risk more than $10. I mean, that is the beauty of this. But when you trade on your own, we risk it all. Tara will tell you, we'll risk it very quickly. We'll hit the button, we'll get in drawdown, and all of a sudden, everything we made for an entire week is wiped out in a few minutes. Yeah. And that was the reality. Tara knows what I'm saying, right, Tara? Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen, I was so emotionally traumatized that I couldn't even hardly trade on my own because I got to pay this and I got to pay that. Well, to bring it up to today, from March until we are today, BG has just totally changed our life. And it's so amazing is because today, and I'm so thankful for this, today we just moved into our own brand new house. I am loving the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that BG has changed our life. The kind of income that we have coming in right now is life-changing. You know, I'm a level 6, Tara's a level 6. You know, literally we're now days away from becoming level 7s. And this all started with a decision. Right back in March, I go right back to March, $130 I put in on my own. Did not put another dime in this program. And this has changed our life. And it's because we decided to make a decision, and we said, you know what? If you don't do something to change where you are, then you constantly stay where you're at. And I just go back to that and I said, well, you know, if I never had made this decision back in March and started copying and pasting and getting into business, where would I still be living? What circumstances would I still be under? Ladies and gentlemen, nothing else changed in my life except when BG came along. Now I'm a much better trader. Why? Because I don't have to sit there and be stressed out about trading. I understand when I trade on my own. I do like BG. 1% of my account, no more. And guess what? I'm able to make money that way as well. So I want to say this to everybody. I could not have done this without a team. We could not be making the money that we're making without a team. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And I will say this, along the way, guys, I was tempted. Other people would call me up and they'll say, oh, I got this other opportunity that pays this much or pays that much. And do you know every last one of those opportunities that people ran off to, every last one of them are gone. And BG is still here. Ever since August of 2022, changing lives. Despite how many times people say, oh, they're getting ready to close. Oh, they're getting ready to file bankruptcy. All of these things that people say, they said it back in December, right? When the Professor Stephen Beer said, well, we're going to give everybody a bonus. And then again, he did it again in 1st of January. And then he did it again after that. And then he just recently finishing up one tonight. And people are saying the exact same thing. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the power of this. This is truly, truly life-changing. So all of us that are here on this line, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, listen, the professor, he wants to help each and every one of us. I talk to him daily, and I encourage everybody on here, make sure that at least once a week, you say something to the professor, at least once a week. And if not, nothing but thank you. Because this is so life-changing.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And that's the power of this. So I want to bring up one other person, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, because I want everybody to understand something. This lady told such a powerful and moving testimony because, ladies and gentlemen, you know, most of us, we can go whenever we want, right? But BG is something that you can literally do at home. You never have to leave your home if you don't want to, and you can still change your life. Sharon, are you on with us? I want to double check and see.
Yes, I am.
Sharon, go ahead very quickly in about 2 to 3 minutes. Just kind of condense your story down, tell everybody what's going on with you. And oh, by the way, folks, I want to find this out before. Did that trade win? Let me see a bunch of hearts if you guys won that trade. If you guys won the trade that we took at 7:30, is that trade over? Okay, beautiful. The screen is full of hearts. So for those of you that are brand new, everybody that took that trade at 7:30, they won that trade. So Sharon, please go ahead. I mean, your testimony was so moving. I wanted to save you right for the end.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have 27 grand and great grandchildren, and the year before I couldn't give them Christmas presents because I'm on Social Security. And my husband was a truck driver and he got ill, so he's on Social Security now. So if you know anything about Social Security, it's not much money. And we had lost our home a long time ago. So our money, we had tried to, our 401ks, we had tried to save the house with that money. So that was all gone. But I prayed, and about a week and a half later, a lady came that I do a lot of things with, Janice. And she told me about this business. And unlike you all, I believed it from the jump because first thing out of my mouth was, how long has it been on? And they said 3 years. I said, okay. So I figured if it was something bad, it would have been gone by 3 years. So I was all in when I saw it. And I told her I didn't have the money at the time, but I had been in the hospital because of my legs. I have edema in my legs, so I can hardly move around. And I have no cartilage in my hips. And so I had a check coming. It's almost like a company like Aflac. And I knew I had this check coming. So I took $500 of the check And as soon as I got it and I opened up my account and I started trading, and the first day I made $3.28. I was all excited because I knew it was, I was in and ready to roll. And since then, I got level 1. It took me a little bit to get level 1, but I brought in 2 guys, my son and a good friend of mine, Darnell Curtis, and they ran like they had pants on fire. So when I finally made it to level 1, almost at the 60-day level, a point, I made level 2 like a couple of days later. And then my goal when I came in, I wanted level 3 because I knew that $1,500 a month could change my life, and I wouldn't have to be so worried about if I could buy groceries and things like that. So my son, I knew he was a recruiter in the Air Force, and I knew if I could get him to look at this and like it, he was going to go with it, and he did. He got level 3. Third signal. That's what he wanted. Now he's working on level 3, and I'm working on third signal. So, but we both got what we wanted. But it only took me like 18 days past my goal because I had made the goal of Christmas. I wanted to be level 3, and I got it 18 days later. So this has really changed my life. And like I said, Randy, I put people on your call because you say magic words to them, and they get off and they say, "That guy told me this. That guy told me." And so it's really amazing how the way you say things, it makes people listen. And that's very, very powerful. And I want to thank you and your wife. And like I said, I thank Professor Beard, and I thank all my team because I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you very much for letting me share.
Well, thanks so much, Sharon. And then, your son let us know about what's going on with you and your health condition. And that's just absolutely amazing what you're doing. And we thank you, thank you, thank you. And we thank everybody for getting on this call tonight. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about getting with the person that shared this call with you. This is not our normal call that we do, but we just wanted to just touch bases on some life-changing stories, how people started out just like you 3 months ago, 5 months ago, 7 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, but their life has changed. And the only thing that happened is time. Everybody, it's an even playing field for everybody. Depending on what's in your account, ladies and gentlemen, everybody receives the percentages every single day. And that's what it is, 2 trades per day. As long as those trades win, you get a minimum of 60 to 65%. If the trade loses, they give you a replacement code to go back in to get another trade to replace that one that's lost. And typically, we've had that happen twice since I've been in, that it lost twice. And when it lost, we actually went back in with the replacement code, and we ended up making about 3 times what we would have made on the first trade that we lost. So it's been absolutely incredible. I want to thank everybody for getting on this call tonight. We appreciate you guys. Another trade just went off at 8 o'clock for those of you to get the third signal. I know you already took your trade if that's already up. So I want to thank you guys again after the 8 o'clock. For those of you that are brand new, there's another trade at 8:30 and also another one at 9 o'clock. There's as many as 7 trades a day. Everybody gets 2 trades a day. The rest of the trades, you have to work for them and earn them. Thank you so much for all of our panel tonight. I want to appreciate everybody for getting on. And guys, it is Friday. And you guys know something about Friday, what I always love about Fridays, right? I love to play that song. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that song up if I can, because